Hi everyone, and welcome to the Aries 2022 January New Year's reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot and Meaning-Based Spiritual Coaching Services. I am Lauren. Hi and welcome. So this reading is specifically designed to help you identify a current challenge or challenges you are facing and help provide you with the meaning behind you facing these challenges. And this is all in an effort to be able to better understand not only your personal meaning, mission, and purpose, but what Spirit is asking you to step up into, that highest version of self. So first I'm going to pull a card here to take a look at your energy. Ooh, the Tower. And I'm going to pull a card or two, and one comes right out, for your external energy. So we have the Nine of Wands over here. Now, what I'm getting right away, and at the bottom of the deck, oh, beautiful card at the bottom of the deck, these two very heavy cards, and we have the Ten of Cups at the bottom. So this is your overarching energy here, is the Ten of Cups. Now, the Tower. The Tower is all about when things in our external environment cause us to have to go through a change in our physical, emotional, or spiritual circumstance. And what does that mean? That means that perhaps you were going along clinging to an old job or clinging to an old way of how you've always done something, and then out of the blue, that thing that you have been kind of putting off stepping away from gets ripped away or torn down. And this can look like you're losing a job, or you having to move suddenly, or something changing in your family dynamic. And it's meant to be a blessing. It can be as kind of scary and tumultuous as it shows here, meaning disruptive. It's like lightning striking the tower. But what we have to remember is that the whole reason why in the tarot there is this card, the Tower, is because before the Tower card there is the Devil card, and the Devil card is when we become trapped, when we sit with either temptation, meaning let's say there's a job you've been needing to leave, but you've stayed with it because of the money, but it no longer challenges you in some sort. Or there's an element perhaps of you knowing that something else in your life needs to give and you've been clinging to it, thinking that perhaps there's no other way than to stay clinging to it. And this is when Spirit comes in and says, no, it's time. We've given you the chances to release it on your own, and now we're going to release you from the devil. We're going to tear down those faulty foundations, and we're going to allow you to start to build anew. But what I'm seeing in your external environment is this, the Nine of Wands is a card of the weary or wounded warrior, meaning there's this quality here, and you can almost kind of see it in how he is facing this tower being torn down. There's a quality here of not wanting to make the change because you've been through it before, because you know what it feels like when things are disrupted or upended. And it's exhausting. You don't want to have to be put in this position again of, oh my gosh, I've come so far from this. Do I want to keep going? And the beauty of all of this is that Spirit is letting you know that the whole reason behind the challenges that you are facing right now is to help you better embrace and get a better and more solid idea of what your heart is calling you to do. So the Ten of Cups is what I like to call the happy family card, but it's also the card of our ultimate emotional fulfillment. There's a quality of this card that always makes me think of heaven, our unique individual vision of heaven, not the vision of heaven that gets kind of put out there in mass media, but the vision of heaven for you, that on an emotional level, if you thought about it right now and you could experience what that would feel like, what that ultimate setting would feel like for you, where you could achieve whatever your heart's desire is, that there's this quality of being able now to face the tower, to face something in your life that needs to be let go of again, and to step into this place of understanding, of seeing how far you've come and understanding that you only have one more step to go. The 9 is one step away from the 10, and a 10 is a completion of a cycle in the tarot. So I'm going to pull some cards here in between to really take a look at the challenges as to what perhaps is coming up for you right now, as to why you're currently experiencing this and the meaning behind having to face this internal tower that's happening. What does Spirit have in store for you? What is the why? I'm going to pull roughly 5 cards here to get a better understanding of what's going on. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is I like to call this my magic deck. It's a deck that perhaps was misprinted when I purchased it, but there are duplicates of certain cards in here, and it always shocks me when they come out in readings. It's an extra special message with this deck. Okay, so you have the 3 of Pentacles coming out twice. Very important. The challenge you're facing now and what Spirit is asking from you is, what do you want to build and with whom? Because there's this quality, we have the 3 of Pentacles sandwiching the 10 of Pentacles in the middle. And the 10 of Pentacles is similar, it mirrors the 10 of Cups, but in a physical sense. So the 10 of Cups is our heart's desire fulfilled. The 10 of Pentacles is our physical legacy, our legacy here fulfilled. So this could look like you starting a business that ultimately grows and you pass that on to your children, or this is you working to build up to a point where you can travel freely, or whatever your idea of your legacy, maybe writing a novel that you feel is going to express your viewpoint and you're going to leave that behind as your legacy. Whatever that feels like to you, that would make you feel abundant in a physical sense. But on either side, you have the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles is about having a vision and understanding that in order to put the work in to get to the 10 of Pentacles, you have to understand your vision, and you have to understand that it will require you to work with others to achieve that goal. On the other side here, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. And the beauty of this is once you decide what that vision is and who you're ready to work with, who you're ready to open yourself up to, you step into the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, which the Queen of Pentacles is the understanding of knowing where to put your energy. The Queen of Pentacles has only one pentacle. She knows where to put her time and energy. She is not trying to juggle multiple things and spread herself thin. She is focused. She is goal-driven. She knows the value of her time and energy, and she knows where to put it. And then we have the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is one wish, one emotional heart's wish away from the 10 of Cups. And so what I'm seeing here for you, the challenge that you're facing in the month of January, Aries, is basically wanting to admit to yourself, what do you really want? What is your heart's desire? And then to bring that down, to be able to ground that into, how are you going to get there? How are you physically going to get there? Because once the tower is gone, it's time to rebuild. And if you notice in this image, this is a card of rebuilding. They are building something new, a new structure. And I think this is what you're being asked to, that the meaning in what you're going through now, the meaning in this kind of tumultuous, slightly chaotic experience you're going through internally, is to allow you to clear the rubble, look at everything that you have before you, and start to build anew. But with a new vision this time, and a vision that lines up with your heart's desire. So that when you come to face this energy that you are stepping into, and that Spirit sees you're interacting with in your external environment, which is the wounded warrior. I've come so far, I'm exhausted. I don't want to have to go back and do it all over again. This is what Spirit is saying. The reason why you're having to go back to at this point and start anew is because this time your vision and what you're moving towards and how you're going to focus and prioritize your energy is going to ultimately get you what you want. What was before was not the case. And you had to go through that to be able to better see and understand what you want. And now you just have to admit it to yourself. And also pick the right partners to build it with. Okay, for a final message, I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards for the concepts of curiosity, courage, and contemplation to better kind of give you an additional layer of help from Spirit to help illuminate for you what might be at the source of this tower happening, as well as being able to help you really admit to yourself what you'd like and to help you step into formulating this vision for yourself and starting to put the right people in place to do that. So we're going to pull a card here first for the principle of curiosity, and this is going to be where the energy around the card, we're going to think of a question. And it's something to ask yourself throughout the month of January to help open yourself up with a curious eye to this theme and what it might help illuminate for you with regards to this new vision for your future. So we have the temple path, number 12. Number 12 to me is always a number of divinity. It's a number of divine path and purpose. And it's the number for me that represents kind of greeting the creator or God or the universe with that optimistic outlook of a child. So it's beautiful in combined with the temple path. And the temple path is, for me, what's coming through intuitively is there's this quality of understanding that we are always on our path. We have only one path. We each have only one life to live in this time. You can believe in past lives, but you're only here right now living this specific life. And this specific life has an ultimate highest potential. That is the end of your path. That is the hope and the wish of Spirit that you will fulfill. But there's also this quality of understanding that we should take the time to hold that sacred. And that as we walk our path, it isn't just about trying to run forward or trying to get this or get that. It's about understanding that your whole life experience is sacred, not just the end goal and not just what didn't work out. Instead, each step you take on your path is meant to lead you closer to this hidden inner temple of yourself and experiencing what you uniquely have to offer, as well as experiencing your greatest potential. So what I would ask yourself with, and keeping this in mind throughout the month of January, is where can you slow down to appreciate the journey, the process, your own path? And where can you, as you start to slow down and look around, where are the people that are kind of there, ready to help you? And as you start to think about ascending these steps into your own inner temple, what are you going to find that is unique to you that you can bring forward into this new vision for yourself, to basically go inward to be able to bring outward and connect this with the external environment? All right, we're going to pull a card now for the concept of courage. And this is something to keep in mind as you are taking action for the month of January. So it really takes courage to actually take action. It's holding yourself responsible for doing stuff with yourself in mind. So let's see, what does Aries need to know for the month of January about how and when and where they take action? Oh, beautiful. So we have surrender your fear of intimacy. And it says you are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So this month, as you're thinking about moving forward and taking action, as the wounded, weary warrior, you might feel like, can I actually trust somebody else to help bring my vision to life? Can I fully embrace my wish for what my ultimate heart's desire is? And with each time you go to take action, think about, are you stopping yourself from taking action on your own behalf because you're afraid of intimacy? Because you're afraid of opening yourself up not only to the mystery of the universe, love on a grander scale, but also love on a small scale? Where are you afraid to possibly start that new relationship, or fall in love with that new job, or rely on somebody in your life, a friend, a family member, and realize that Spirit is letting you know now is not the time to be hurt. You've gone through that. You've gone through the shakeup. Now, the meaning behind that shakeup is to build anew, but with a purpose that for this time is going to be meant for you specifically. You're not basing your vision on somebody else's idea. You're basing it on your own. Okay, and then last but not least, let's see. I'm gonna actually pull a card from. I'm gonna use this deck, and we're gonna pull a card for contemplation. And this is gonna be something for you to think about during meditation throughout the month, and just as you're reflecting on the actions you've taken throughout the day and the situations, scenarios, and I'd say reactions and things that have happened. Ooh, that's a few too many cards. Let's see if we can get a couple less there. That the energy around this card is really what you're meant to help kind of integrate and incorporate as part of your lesson this month. What are you learning about yourself? So we have Mintakan. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. I love this. This card always to me represents that feeling of, I see her, she is looks like a mermaid type person. And it makes me always think of that movie, The Little Mermaid, where she never felt comfortable as the mermaid. She always had an eye to want to leave and go out on land and be a human. And there is this quality here where sometimes we can get so lost in looking elsewhere and not feeling like we belong where we are, that we're constantly kind of projecting of like, well, it would be great if I could just live there or have this lifestyle, or when this happens, I'll feel better. Or even looking to the past of, it was so much better then. I belonged then. That as part of your contemplation and reflection, where do you feel right now that you don't belong? And where do you feel as you're daydreaming about something, like, for instance, when you think about the Little Mermaid, she was constantly dreaming up these fantastic ideas of what people must be like in the world of humans. Well, there is this quality of kind of fantasizing about that. And what is this fantasy world or fantasy place or fantasy scenario that you feel you'd belong in? And start to kind of bring that down into reality. We all are meant to belong. We all have a purpose and a meaning. But the meaning is yours to attribute, and the purpose is given to you from Spirit. So there's this quality here of this duality of understanding that if you don't feel like you belong now, Where do you feel that you belong? Because that's your tether to spirit trying to say, come over here. This is where your destiny lies. But you have to take action to get towards that point. So integrate that feeling of when you're thinking about your ultimate heart's desire, where do you feel like you would belong? Where would you feel like you're truly supported and that this whole life, the people you work with, the energy you put in, the wishes that you would like granted, what would bring those all together, and what is that final emotional vision and realization of that? And that's going to help kind of ground your actions and where you're being curious as to what you're being meant to kind of, with awareness, walk your path this month to see what's lied within you that you've maybe kind of missed. All right, Aries, I hope that this has been an illuminating reading. I hope you all have a wonderful January. And if you'd like to learn more about finding your meaning and feeling purpose, you can click on the link below to either book a personal reading or a one-on-one coaching session. All right, Aries, have a fantastic January, and I'll see you in February.